So let's start off with that. Chicken rescue mission on Mars! Exclamation point. You're a cow abducted by aliens and you want to rescue chickens, also abducted from the same farm. Huh. You're on Mars and there are some very weird plants, and when you eat them, you can spit it out. Not only will it spit any more. You're on Mars, there are some weird plants, and when you eat them, you can spit out, not only with spit anymore. So eat some plants, kill some aliens, save chickens, and go back to home safely. I assume the unorthodox weapon is the fact that you are using plant and spit. I take it. Yeah, it's Adobe Flash. Anyways, controls are A and D to move, K to spit, and L to jump. Oh, okay. That's pretty simple. Let's listen to the music. Alright, so far no music. So far so good. Select level 1, because why not? Still no sound effects. Ah, that's disappointing. Stay for a while on those plants below to eat them. Bleh, that's some weird plant. Press K to spit them out. Okay. So by stay for a while, just stand there, is what they mean. I'm eating them, okay. There's still no music. Oh, I forgot the jump button. Aha. Alright, there's ammo on top over there. I have 68, 78, 88 plants. Okay. Okay, you can't. This is a hard jump to make. Am I supposed to make that jump? Oh, okay, that's how you do it. That's a little deceptive. Alright. Ouch. Oh my. Oh. That one is a red herring right there. You're not supposed to jump on that. Alright. Got a Mega Man inch. Oh, whoops. No ghost jumping, that's good to know. A bunch of stuff. Fire! Okay, there are one-hit kills. We got... there's one more left, apparently. Okay. Oh. Alright. The platforming controls in this game leaves a lot to be desired. And the platforms themselves are like super tight. Kind of feels a little unfair. Alright. Cool. Congratulations, you rescued all the chicken. Main menu. Level 2. I assume these are like unlockables, or they have precisely just 2 levels. Alright, well I need some. The lack of sound effects is really bothering me. The graphics are adorable though. At least you have that going. Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense. So you have that game mechanic where certain plants does different things. Cool, neat. Alright, I'll beat that. Yoink, yoink. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Ouch. It touched me. Do 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 do. Oh my goodness. What? Oh, that's not cool. And it throws me back there too. Boo. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Oh wow. That totally killed me right there. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Alright, I'm down to like the sliver of the health, but whatever. Alright. That jump is impossible. Fun. So I have to rely on blind jumps after this, I assume? Ouch. Well, I rolled into that one. Yeah, I rolled into that one too. There we go. It's fairly unpredictable what I'm going to shoot out as a consequence of eating these kind of things. Is it based off of the order of how I'm eating them? It's kind of weird. Yeah, there's nothing here. Okay. Yeah. I don't know why that missed. Yeah. Oh well. I don't know how to get there. Yep, I have no idea how to get there. Why the heck? There we go. All hope is not yet lost. Alright, all hope is lost. Yeah. He rescued all the chicken. Okay. Oh, that's just it. 2 levels. Right. Immediately, the lack of sound is already a huge botherance to me. Let's see if the web version has sound either. Nope, it's still without sound. Yeah, okay, well then. So the lack of sound is bothering. The cow's jump, the height is fine, but the tiling itself, like you had to do these really pixel perfect jumps. That I don't appreciate as much because I keep on falling off because I happen to be jumping at the wrong velocity and that kind of stuff. Like I had to exactly be on the edge of the other platform to make the jumps and so forth. So the fact that such extreme precision was required to do anything was really disappointing to me. I personally err on the side of making it like making things not too difficult, and giving them, making the level design loose enough such that they can feel like jumping past gaps are easy enough to do. It's just that, there's a little more skill and timing behind that. So that's kind of, I ultimately I kind of felt like because of those two elements, the fact that you had to be pixel perfect with the jumping, especially any sort of jumps that involves jumping a certain kind of gap, the fact that there's no ghost jumping makes it really hard for me. And also any sort of jumps where it involves jumping over 3 tiles, that one I found was absurdly difficult for some reason. So if you could have made the level design, or maybe make the cow just jump ever so slightly taller, so that it doesn't require such precision. If you made basically the game somewhat noticeably easier, I think I would have enjoyed it a little more. Again, music, sound effects, those are kind of necessary. I thought that the enemy collision boxes were kind of unfair, specifically in the sense that once you shot them, you know how they still roll around? It seemed like you were still able to collide with them on those specific instances, and I didn't really like that. I also didn't like the fact that they seemed to be placed on really small platforms, which is the worst place to put them. At least it made sense in Mario because you were supposed to jump on top of them, actually, now that I think of it. So let's see if I can actually jump on top of these. Oh, whoops. Nope, you can't. Oh, that happens. But yeah, the fact that you're supposed to jump on them in Mario would explain why that was, why levels were designed with enemies on small platforms. I cannot say that the same is true for something like Mega Man, where you have to be right next to the enemy, in which case you have a tiny window of success at that point, and I really don't like that. Excuse me. So those are my opinions about it. I thought that as a platformer fetch quest game, there was a lot of improvements necessary for me to have enjoyed it, especially in the control-related realms and in the audio department. That said, at least the graphics were really good. I really liked what I saw, and the animation I thought was pretty good as well. Those I didn't feel like the bullet system was unfair. It was pretty clear to me that you can, break blocks. So a lot of the elements where you need to teach a player that certain things are possible, I learned pretty quickly. So those are like huge pluses, and I think that's something that you did a really good job on. I personally do a pretty bad job on explaining a lot of things. So I do think that the way the game was presented was easy to learn, and I think that's a huge advantage. So, yeah, let's go with the rating system. Start with innovation. It's a platformer, very Mega Man. Personally, I thought the game was very sloppy. Definitely not the worst game I've played, but I do feel it was a little less than average in the sense that a lot of things were harder than necessary. The theme, well, I do understand that the point was you're supposed to be spitting, but ultimately it's presented almost exactly like Mega Man would, so I personally fall this under the average thing. It's unconventional in the sense that it's spit, but other than that, it's just like the Mega Man blaster, so very average to me. Graphics was pretty good. I like that. Humor was, I thought, on the low point. I recognize that you were trying to put it in, but I didn't really laugh at it, so there's that too. Without the sound and audio, I thought that the mood was completely lacking. Those kind of things really add up to a more interesting environment, and since you didn't have that, I thought that the whole thing was kind of boring. So, yeah. Ultimately a serviceable game, but at the same time left a lot to be desired, in my opinion. So unfortunately, I'm gonna rank it more towards the lower than average area. I think a lot of polish should be made on the controls, and also largely to make the game a little nicer, because I felt like a lot of the jumps in the game were completely unfair. It's presented well. I can understand what were platforms and what were the blocks I needed to break, but I thought that the game was a little unforgiving in the window of error, the margin of error that the user can have. There's also a few places where I thought there was like a leap of faith, especially since I'm not entirely sure. Can you actually platform between those mushrooms? Because there was that one part where there's these bunch of really tall mushrooms with an enemy on a small platform in the middle. It doesn't seem like there's a safe way from a trip back without making a leap of faith, which leap of faiths are something that we really hate in platformers. So unless I'm wrong, that felt like a really unfair level design from my perspective. But yeah, anyways, let's say comments, non-anonymous. The requirement, the precision necessary to jump from one platform to another was a bit ridiculous. I think the cow, I would appreciate it if the game didn't demand so much tighter controls, didn't demand so much I really don't want to say this, but it's two words repeated. It didn't require so much precision. Perhaps make the cow jump slightly taller. If the game didn't require so much precision. I think the graphics are adorable. The game could really use some sound effects and music. There's a note on top saying that our ratings. Oh, wow, I rated a lot more games than I expected. Okay, well.